K103 aims to bring Kahnawake an informative, community-oriented, and diverse talk show. To ensure a variety of voices and opinions, K103 reserves the right to screen calls. Our guests' opinions are not necessarily endorsed by or reflect those of K103 or its management. And now, the Partyline Talk Show on K103.7 FM, Kahnawake.
And thanks for tuning in to the Partyline Talk Show. I'm Lori Jacobs, and it is 12:16 in the afternoon. My guests today are living proof that one man's junk is another man's treasure. Last night, they're all laughing here. Last night, Discovery Channel Canada aired its season premiere of Junk Raiders 3. And the local man, from Kahnawake, is Chuck Barnett, and he is one of the cast members. And we also have the pleasure of two other cast members. We have Blair Harvey in studio and also Lara Finley. Welcome to the program, everyone.
Hi, Lori.
Thank you.
Hi. Little rough getting started.
Yeah. We got to. It's been like hectic since last night. We had a little viewing party. So we invited some friends and family over at Burton's, and we went from there. And these guys have been traveling hard the past couple days, and then we got early this morning to do the morning show with Java, Paul, and Abby, and ate breakfast real quick. They got in about 30 minutes sleep, and then we're back here on the job again.
Yeah, on the job again. Well, for you two, the cast members that don't know, Chuck is usually my replacement for when I'm sick or I'm busy. Chuck does this show.
Yeah, so I'm on the other side of the desk today.
Yeah, so here I am. I'm getting out of my car. I'm running, and I see everybody walking by me. I'm like, hello.
Yeah.
What a motley crew that is.
Yeah, and you must have been thinking like, Blair, you must have been thinking like, who the heck is this person?
Oh, our senses are just numbed. I was answering during last. I want to say thanks. You don't understand, like, to everybody in Kahnawake and all of our friends back home from our hometowns who just really showed their love and their support and just really embraced us and really uplifted us. 'Cause it's a nerve-wracking thing when something like, because we don't know how the show's. We know how the show goes, but we don't know what's in the final cut, so we're a little anxious too. Maybe not so much Blair. Blair's sort of tuned out a lot.
Takes it as it comes.
I don't care.
So for people who are listening and don't know, what is the basic premise of Junk Raiders?
Do you want me to take this one? Okay, Junk Raiders is it's a series produced by Proper Television for Discovery Channel. Both great companies, been real good to us so far, and we loved working with them. The premise of Junk Raiders is this. They gather together, usually with smaller casts, 5 or 6 tradespeople, professionals of all different fields, never met before, throw them together, and then they give them a job. Now, season 1, it was a high-end renovation of a warehouse space, was it?
Condo.
It was a condo. They had to transform like a warehouse space into a condo. Get on the mic there, Larry. Just pull the mic. Just pull it close to this because you got a little voice. And year 2, they had to do an art installation at the Toronto Brickworks using shipping containers. And this year, it's, as we've seen, it's the Farmhouse Tavern, which is in kind of a tough part of Toronto. It's an edgy part of Toronto, and it was a real rundown old like sports bar that we have 30 days to transform this place into like a high-end bistro, like a $500,000 plus $750,000 looking job.
And a lot of stuff is working against us.
Yep. And here's the catch. We got 30 days, only got $5,000 to work with, and we don't get a cent more than $5,000. And if we don't complete the job by the end of 30 days, the owner,
all gets ripped out.
It all gets ripped out. All of our work has to get ripped out. That's it. The owner has to be satisfied, or else that's it. There's no room for failure or halfway on this.
I thought it was really an interesting show, and I watched it last night. And
did you enjoy it?
I really enjoyed it.
Did you?
I really enjoyed it.
Not just because I'm sitting here, right?
No.
All right.
No.
Because next time you're sick, I might not be available. Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, all this summer we had to get alternate replacements because Chuck was busy this summer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
And it was very hush hush. I mean, we didn't. All we knew was that Chuck is busy.
Yep, that's it. Didn't tell anybody.
That's all that.
Those who knew kept the secret real well.
Yeah.
Yep, because we all had to, even being here today, we all had to sign a big telephone book of contract papers on this saying silence waiver, you know, what we can and can't say, and just, you know, how we're going to conduct ourselves and such like that. I mean, they're a good company, but they don't want to let the cat out of the bag in terms of, because there's a lot of unexpected twists and turns. And we were on this job 12, 14 hours a day for 30 days. I mean, they give us Sunday off.
3 cameras following us around.
Just like Lara said.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, okay.
That's all I have to say.
Hey, okay, if you're at home, imagine.
I'd like to add something, Chuck.
Yeah. All right.
Blair, you can add your one.
Filter. What do you got, buddy?
And even if we do finish the job, and it's all complete, he comes in. If he doesn't like it, he can still say no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if it's not what he wanted, his vision, he can just say, no, this is no good.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Well, I remember last night when the designer walked in.
That would be Michelle.
That was Michelle.
Yeah.
When the designer walked in.
Chuck wants to use her as a designer.
Yeah.
And I looked at the faces, especially Chuck, and I thought, uh-oh.
Yeah. None of us had ever met this woman before. She was on season 1. So Woodsy, our general contractor, he's a real legit general contractor in Toronto. He had worked with her in season 1 of Junk Raiders, and there was a lot of friction there. Mm-hmm. And when she walked into the restaurant,
his face went red.
I didn't even see her come in. I just seen the boss's face change colors, and I wasn't sure why. And then I seen this, blonde woman come swaggering in there.
With her stilettos.
With her
5-inch stilettos.
Her 12-inch stilettos coming in there. And I'm like, something went seriously wrong. And we don't know what went wrong, but it came out pretty fast after that. Yeah.
They got their friction for the show anyway, I know that much.
Yeah.
I felt like
they couldn't get it out of us because we just liked each other too much.
Yeah, we had a great bond.
Like, as soon as we met, we didn't know each other. We met for maybe 20 minutes the night before at a pub real quick just to say this is so-and-so, and we got some faces and some names. Because even when I arrived in Toronto, I didn't know who I was working with. I had no idea.
I saw Chuck come in and I was like, what is wrong with this guy?
Yeah,
I almost tripped you.
Yeah. I was pretty amped up. I think I sat down and I said, give me 2 coffees. 2 right now. And I ordered 2 coffees straight up, and the people you see here, I mean, there's other guys too, but these people, we just gelled immediately. Sort of like that act of desperation when you know you're in a real crisis place.
Yeah.
And we just bonded immediately, man. Immediately.
So everybody is from Canada. I'll start with
I'm from
Blair.
Newfoundland.
Yeah. So where in Newfoundland are you from?
I'm from
Blair?
Ferryland. It's a town called Ferryland. It's like 700 people. Hour south of St. John's.
And you are a carpenter.
That's what I tell people.
Because I was wondering, because last night you were having a hard time reading a ruler, and I thought, wow,
it's a weird ruler, right? You turn it around, it's got all different
scale ruler,
and I just blanked out on camera. It was like my first day, and I just totally crapped out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I get better as time goes by, but I just fill up most of the space with swearing.
Yeah.
I noticed that this morning.
Yes.
That I worked with Blarvey, and I think he's an exceptional carpenter.
He is.
Yeah. He is.
No, truly is.
I started working with the contractor afterwards.
Yes.
I work with him now, so.
Yeah, Woodsy, the central figure.
I must have something.
Yeah.
You have some redeeming qualities.
He's a solid carpenter and works like a donkey, man.
And so, Lara, you're a furniture builder.
That's
and
correct.
Where are you from?
I'm from Mississauga, Ontario, and that's where I was born and raised. And now I live in Oakville. And I love making furniture.
So there are 6 rookies on this show.
I know what rookies.
That's what he said last night. We're rookies.
Yeah, I heard rookies, and I'm like, I'm a 40-year-old man. I'm like,
I've only been at it for 11 years.
Yeah.
But if you want to call me a rookie.
I guess maybe rookies to the show.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, because Jeff and Gordy are regulars every season.
Yeah.
Okay. And Chuck, how did you become part of the show?
A junk grader? Well, I'm a tradesman. I did my apprenticeship 20 years ago, but I've worked here at the station, I've done a bunch of things, still carried my skills with me. I do the cheapbastard.net. There's a gratuitous plug for you. I think it was whenever they played, it was like a repeat of Junk Raiders, and I've only watched the show a couple times, not even a full show, because I'm always busy. I don't sit still for very long. And it said, do you want to be a Junk Raider? Email junkraiders@junkraider.junkraider, whatever. So I pounded out a quick email on my phone and just said, hi, my name is Chuck Barnett. I run the cheapbastard.net. Check out my videos and let me know. Okay. Probably 8-9 months, maybe a year went by. And I forgot about that email. Seriously, 5 minutes later, I was putting mustard on a sandwich and totally forgot about even sending that out. And then on a Friday, I think, I got a call from a casting director, a nice lady named Stacey Jenkins, said, Mr. Barnett, we received your thing. We've seen some of your videos. Can you send us a short video, not description, but like a demo? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm kind of sick. I don't really feel like doing it. And she said, please. She said, we are narrowing down the cast, and we'd really like to see something from you. And I said, okay, if I'm feeling better, I'll knock something out. So my daughter videotaped me out in the shop. Just a few minutes. I sent it out on a Sunday, and then on the Tuesday I got the call. Barnett, you're in. And I said, I don't know if I want to be in. And this is about you're going to be on television. And I said, I don't care. I really, it's cool, right? You want to do something cool and new and interesting, but I'm not like a guy that needs to be on TV. I'm happy, man. I'm a happy guy. I crank out a stupid video every 2 weeks and how to fix your toilet or, whatever. And that's enough for me. And so we did some talking on the phone, and I think 2 weeks later I was on the job. They sent a limo. A limo shows up at my house.
Limo?
You got a limo?
Yeah. Man. Well, you
get no limo.
You're going to work on the contract. I boiled that right in. I said, I want a limo.
Because we're from Toronto.
Oh, yeah. You live there.
Yeah, it's the Montreal, yeah.
So
I still would like a limo.
Yeah. Well, it's too late now. So they sent a limo, picked me up at my house. It was really weird.
That's incredible.
Oh, you didn't know?
No.
Yeah.
On the farm.
Oh, no, on the farm. Yeah, a big limo pulls out on the farm, picks me up. I throw my tool bag in there and, dressed like how I am, and work boots and whatever.
The welder?
Yeah. No. That's the other thing. That's it. Well, we'll get into that. And then I was on a plane, and next thing you know, I'm in Toronto, and all right, here's my home for the next 30 days. And they put me up. They put me up in a nice place next to the CN Tower, and swanky duds. It was pretty cool.
Swanky duds.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're just joining us, you're listening to the Partyline Talk Show. Today's guests are cast members of Junk Raiders 3. We have Chuck Barnett in the studio, our very own Chuck Barnett. We have Blair Harvey and Lara Finley also in studio. And we're going to be talking more about Junk Raiders 3, which premiered last night at 9 o'clock on Discovery Channel Canada. We'll be back right after this.
Women Aware is a non-profit, local Montreal community-based center providing long-term service for victims of domestic violence. Our main goal is to make our hotline's number known to those living in situations of domestic violence. For more information, please visit our website at www.womenaware.ca or call our toll-free hotline for direct support at 1-866-489-1110 between Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. We could also be reached at 514-825-4521 in case of emergencies. Women Aware, no excuse for abuse.
The Last Chance Lottery is always a quick way to win cool cash. With a prize starting at $500 and sometimes higher. For only a toonie, there's no better way. Last week's number was
679. Bobby Abrera was your winner.
This week, the Last Chance Lottery prize is
$500.
K103's Last Chance Lottery. Sold exclusively at the K103 offices. Buy 1, 10, 20, or as many as you want. K103's Last Chance Lottery. The quickest way to win cash.
Mornings on K103.
We had a few of the cast members from Junk Raiders 3, including local boy Chuck Barnett and his friends Lara and Blair Harvey. We told them, this isn't TV, it's live radio. You cannot swear.
That.
Apparently, Blair didn't get the message.
Shell. I've seen better livestock.
All right.
We handed the mic back over and we gave him a second chance.
No, I totally blanked out on camera. I just froze and the first 2 days, and then after that, I just like.
Mornings on K103, weekdays from 5:30 to 10, right here on your monster station, K103 Ganawage and K103radio.com.
And we are back with the Partyline Talk Show. And we are just listening a clip from this morning's show. And Blair apparently had a few bleeps. But they were live this morning, but they were bleeped out.
Yeah.
So welcome back. This is the Partyline Talk Show. Today, my guests in studio are some cast members of the Junk Raiders 3. I have Chuck Barnett in studio, Blair Harvey, and also Lara Finley. Yeah. And so there's a lot of, as soon as I shut the mics off, man, there's a lot of discussion happening in this studio. Well, and then when we go on, because I know that there are things that you can't talk about.
Contractually, we can't. I mean, we lived it. We lived 30 days of this, so we saw everything that happened.
3 cameras following us around for
all day long.
Yeah, like 12-hour days.
Lori, imagine conducting your day at home, doing whatever you're doing, and there's a camera following you.
Even when you go to the bathroom.
When you go to the bathroom.
Like everywhere, you have the sound audio on you.
Yeah.
So you don't know what is in the last cut.
Even when we whisper to each other, we don't know if that's being filmed.
We had to develop like code words and like little sign language things to communicate when we didn't want the producers to hear what we were saying. Because sometimes you want to say private things that you don't want to go over the camera. Nothing bad, but just... It's like nobody's
personal
business.
Stuff.
Yeah, personal stuff, whatever. Yeah. You're not feeling well, and every day you're sick because the weather was up and down. We had some real hot days, and even
rain, snow.
It snowed on us, and sun, and it was a tough environment. It's just imagine anybody out there going through your daily life, getting in the car, doing your groceries, going to work, and you got 3 cameras following you, and every move and every screw up you do. Think about how many times you trip over your own toes in a day, or you drop something, and then they can now cut all those things together to make it look like that was your whole day.
And we learned how to talk really close with one another, and that's how we became closer so quickly. Yeah. Like, I feel the job was only 1 month, but it feels like we've known each other for years.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you were working together very closely for 1 month, and you had to salvage junk to make this old bar, into a beautiful,
high-end bistro.
Yeah.
And hopefully, by season 6 we see. But where are some of the places that you went to get your junk?
You guys went on some interesting runs with Gordy.
Yeah.
I'll just set it up. You guys take it. Let me set up.
I don't know what we're allowed to say.
Oh, that's true. Cause
yeah.
Well, we can talk about where you guys went in last night's episode, because I know you went on a run.
Yeah, you go.
Skyscraper.
You filled it.
Yeah.
We went and got some windows out of Skyscraper that couldn't be used. They were duds, but.
Is it because they couldn't open?
No,
and because they wanted the windows to open.
Skyscrapers' windows are made to be closed. You could open little parts of those windows, but they didn't need them for the job they ordered or something. So we got them, but we had to go up like 50 stories in a construction elevator. It was pretty cool.
And you are not very fond of heights, I
don't care. I think you just slipped that in there to make it more conflicting.
More dramatic?
It didn't matter to me.
Gordy.
I'm high all the time anyway.
But Gordy is the guy that he drives the truck. Well, he doesn't just drive the truck, but he's a returning cast member. Gordy Wernoff, who's like the greatest guy who you'd ever want for your neighbor.
Love you, Gordy.
We love you.
We love Gordy, man, and he's just an eco-friendly, conscientious carpenter, salvager.
Yeah.
And he's just like one of the most interesting guys. You could just sit there and he knows something about everything.
So animated. You just want to
he doesn't
take
have
him
a bad word to say about anybody, even somebody who's mean to him.
No.
He'll go, yep, okay, well, golly, okay, yep, no, okay, yeah, she's having a hard day. and he's just a real friendly guy. So whenever we would get sent on a salvage, Gordy was always the guy leading the salvage.
It was great to have him at the salvage, because salvages can take a toll on your body. So the one I went on, which I can't talk a lot about, it really hurt my body. It was a lot of labor, and having Gordy around, and it was amazing.
So, Lara, you're really the only cast member, really, well, besides Michelle.
Yeah.
But how do you work with all of these guys? I mean, do they treat you any different? Are you just one of the guys?
I ended up feeling like they were family. Like, Siamak was almost like a father figure to me. I loved him. And Blair here, like in the morning, we'd even give each other hugs. That's how close we were getting. It was truly something magical happening.
You mentioned Siamak. Him and his son are
Saeed.
Yes, and he was deaf since birth.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this man is amazing.
He's inspirational.
Beyond amazing.
Like a savant genius.
Yeah.
But he was born in Iran, and
he escaped Iran when the Ayatollah Khomeini took over, and with the Cultural Revolution they had, and he had to literally scoop up his family in the middle of the night and escape across the desert, I believe, into Turkey, Syria, then into Spain, and they didn't have any papers, so he had to pay somebody to forge papers, and the military was taking over, and he has a whole really long, heart-wrenching story and his wife is deaf too. So this Iranian deaf couple scooping up their kids and getting out of there because they knew the place was changing, and for them not for the better. And so it's a fascinating story, and he's really a compelling, not just character, but as a person. He's like
healing abilities.
He's you know what? If he was in Ganawage, we would know this is like a special guy.
He takes a presence.
Yeah, he radiates like warmth, and he's just you can't not like him, man. And everything he touches is gold. Like he turns nothing into something in 30 seconds. He drew character sketches.
He was our dad, really.
He was like our home away from dad.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was always there to teach us something all the time.
Yep.
And sometimes you felt so low, and he just would touch your back.
Yeah.
And then you'd feel like, okay, we can keep going through this struggle.
He did magic tricks for us too. That was awesome.
When times were low, he would actually break out the magic.
Yeah. Yeah, like crazy stuff, like stuff where you would think this guy's not natural, like knots in a rope and then they're gone.
Floating?
And levitating.
Yeah.
Like I don't know still how he did some of these things, but he knew when we were down, and he would stop everything, and he'd throw the sign language at us if we didn't know what, but he just knew it was time to shut up.
Yeah.
He'd do some magic, and everybody felt better all of a sudden, and we were able to kick back into gear, because the days were, it was a real construction job, but with cameras following you, and you only got 30 days and $5,000. So the pressure was just unreal, and we'd stop and have a puff and say, how are we going to do this, man? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And everybody, I have to stress, everybody contributed to the team. Like Saeed had computer skills that he brought in, and Siamak brought in everything. And, Al.
Gordy's a strong carpenter in his own right. Jeff Woodsy would throw in every once in a while. He gave us some good direction. Mm-hmm. You'll see more of Al Swanky. Interesting dude. Very interesting. Yeah, Dr. Cyclops with his weird leather gloves. He's a colorful dude, man. And we'll see more of him in upcoming episodes.
So everybody is working very closely together, 12, 14 hours a day.
Yep.
Did everybody get along?
Truly, we did, for the most part.
Yeah.
I never had it out with anyone.
How bad it was, how intense the moments. Like, we could have hated each other, and we didn't.
I think the tradespeople all got along. I mean, without jumping onto anybody's headstone or anything or whatever, but I think if you've seen episode 1, there's one person that just didn't want to play nice, and there wasn't a lot of love there, and
it's definitely a recurring theme throughout the Junk Raiders.
It was tense when we come to work in the morning, because they'd have to march us in every morning in single file like little ducklings. And you ever walk into a tense room and you could taste it? Like, it's just in the air, heavy, and you feel it tightening in your chest. And that element just went
heavy on your back.
Yeah, and it was like, okay, get to work. And it was hard to with this big vulture hanging around your neck, man.
And my, what was incredible was Michelle's a designer, and she wouldn't actually sometimes design until she felt inspired by a piece of junk.
Yeah.
And sometimes we needed to get going on projects. Like, we don't have this luxury of more than 30 days. You have to tell us what to build right now. We can't start guessing, because you'll make us tear it down.
Is there any time that you feel conflicted when you have to listen to Michelle, or then you have to listen to the boss? And
Woodsy,
who is the boss?
We listened to Woodsy. That was it.
We had a secret pact. We all got together at one point and said, Woodsy's our man.
Yeah.
We came here to work with Woodsy. And but that was after a while, because we didn't want to, because we weren't clear on what the chain of command was, and we didn't really know Woodsy at that point.
And we were just taking it in until Michelle kind of brought on all this stress, and then we were like, no, Woodsy seems peaceful.
Yeah.
He's telling us clear direction, and let's follow.
Yeah, yeah. And he's a tradesman too, so it was easier to take direction from somebody, who's involved. But what you see is real. I mean, what we saw was 1 hour last night, but in our real time, that was about
4 days.
That was 4 days across 8 people shooting 12 hours a day on 2 to 3
cameras.
3 cameras. So there was literally that 1 hour of television was probably about 1,000 hours of shooting of video time to get down to that. And a lot of stuff gets set out of frustration along the way. The
camera guys become your friends.
Yeah.
So then you start talking really naturally in front of them.
Yeah.
Because you think you're actually buddy, and then you're like, oh no, I just said that.
Yeah. They don't really interact with you. Like, the camera people aren't allowed to talk to you and interact, only to say, am I in your way or whatever.
But I think they truly liked us.
Yeah, I think they did too. And
they'd be spying on us, and then they'd come and ask us questions afterwards.
Especially
about stuff we didn't think they knew.
Yeah. If you were made a fool, they were right there.
Yeah.
Like, if you fell over a vacuum, they were right under you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And there's a lot of that. There'll be some minor injuries and stuff, like, because it was, if you can get a sense of the space, it was 2 rooms, a kitchen, and a bar area. But we're 8 people working within a really confined space. So you got a couple carpenters working. We're doing demo at the same. We're pulling. We're demolishing and moving in new materials, and we can't store this stuff on the street. The junk, we can't store it on the sidewalk.
We're getting in trouble by cops.
Yeah, cops are coming by and stopping us and saying, "I don't care what television show you're filming."
Losing tools was the worst. We could never find tools.
Drills that weren't charged.
Drills, yeah.
That was our number one nemesis.
Yeah, we'd have to share one Robertson bit between the 3 of us. It was really tight, man.
Yeah.
So, and then every hour and a half, and I won't talk all day, but you'd be working on the bar. Blarv would be working on that back wall by the windows. I got most of the steel and the fabrication stuff. And then about 2 hours in, they'd all say, "Tools down. Gordy's here with the truck." So we have to stop work with what we're doing, and sometimes
it was a glue up, like something you couldn't stop from, and they're like, you got to stop it.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess I'll break that apart later.
Yeah. And then you got to get everything off the truck and sorted and stuff, and then you're set back. Now it kind of breaks that rhythm, man. So you're gonna see us age. Like, if you could compare like episode 1 photos to the last episode, like, we age about 10 years.
I was a girl when it started out.
And an attractive one at that too. What happened?
Yes, I was looking at some of the salvage material, and there were some boats. Now,
oh man,
what's going to happen
you'll
with
see
the
boat episode next week, I believe.
Yeah. We're gonna be. Don't even ask what the boats, man.
With those boats.
I mean, there's a
we
shot.
didn't actually use the boats.
There's a shot of me in the promo, like I'm holding.
I used one.
Oh, you did. I'm holding a piglet. I
did see that.
Yeah, me holding the piglet, and I'm saying,
I never even knew that happened.
Yeah, I said, please, Mr. Poopers, don't poop on me. And
did he?
Yeah, he pooped on me.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, pooped on me. But I can't talk about that because that's coming up in episode 2.
It makes for good TV.
It makes for good TV because now you want to find out how I got pooped on.
Yeah.
So, what are some of the funny stories that you can share?
Probably nothing.
Probably nothing.
We used to torture Swanky on the way into work every day.
Yeah, Swanky got it pretty hard. Swanky's the older guy from Calgary with the big long leather gloves and sort of the paunch in front, and he's a different kind of guy. I mean, we're all from different parts of the country, and I'm dancing carefully. I can see you guys looking at each other eyes. I'm not going to go there, but he's a former metalhead. Like in the 80s, he had
and proud of it.
That is the guy with the
skullet. It's like a bald mullet.
You?
Yeah.
No.
Let's get him on the line right now. Give me a call.
Yeah, I don't think he's up, but
No, but I thought when I looked at him, he looked like an older, aging metalhead.
yeah, it looks like if Dick Cheney was a metalhead, that would be swanky. And he's never really left Calgary.
We got a lot of frustrations out on him in today.
Yeah.
He likes his meat.
Yeah. Does he?
Yes, he likes his meat.
Yeah. With the beef and the everything.
Meat eater, yeah.
And
pro cow.
so here's Blair from Newfoundland. He's a musician and everything. Here's Lair. Yeah. Here's Lair from Toronto. Chuck's from Gunawaga, and we got Siamak and Saeed, 2 Persian guys from Vancouver.
Quite the crew.
A very diverse crew. I think this was the most diverse crew that Junk Raiders has had before. From across the country, culturally and whatnot. I think in past episodes, most people were from around the Toronto area, or at least Ontario. So yeah, it really had a wide diversity of both cultural, political, and social outlooks. And Swanky brought his own flavor in there. Yeah. And I dig the Swank. We didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things, and that's fine. That was a lot of food for comedy off the camera.
We bag tagged him.
Yeah, a lot of that. Yeah, there's a lot of use on the Swank, and it all worked out in the end, man. But we ate every meal together, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We all ate together.
I'll tell you that much,
we
didn't
couldn't
they?
leave the set.
We weren't allowed to leave.
That was the idea, that we would just
So
know each
everything
other
had to
for
come
a
in?
month.
Everything had to come in.
Yeah.
Everything had to come in at nighttime, and we would lose about an hour having to take everything down and push it into the restaurant, and the first thing in the morning, take it back out and put it on the streets.
And then there'd be interviews every day.
Just when you were exhausted.
Yeah. Mentally, when you were broken down. Like, I think you saw comments. I think there's a couple comments from me. I know Blarby did at least one. They said, Chuck, what do you think about this? And I had no filters on, like to say nice things.
Great at the one-liner.
So what you got is literally the first thing. I think there was, what was that line? Something about a monkey and a cigar.
Behind the brick wall. Like
and that was after like 12, 14 hours. And they said, Chuck, what did you expect to find? But I said, I don't know. It could be gold. It could be a monkey smoking a cigar. I don't know. And that was just the first thing that came into my head.
Yeah.
And they were like, yes, we're using that. But we don't know what they're going to use in the daily shots.
You get a little crazy.
The worse I got, the more cameras I had on me.
Yeah.
The first 2 days, I didn't say a word.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
And there was no cameras. And then on the 3rd day, I just snapped and said, I'm going to be myself. And I just started being crazy Newfie.
I
and I had cameras on me the whole time then.
Yeah.
I was so nervous starting the show, but I'd walk home with Blarby here, and I was like, Blarby, make sure I talk. And he got me through it.
If you're just joining us, this is Laurie Jacobs. This is the Partyline Talk Show. We have a couple of cast members from Junk Raiders 3, and we're just talking about the show, promoting the show. It is every Monday evening at 9 p.m. It's on Discovery Channel Canada. And last night, there was this man. He was a very big flirt. I don't remember his name.
Leroy King,
the
man.
King, yes.
Ow!
And that was just a weird thing that popped up. None of us saw that coming.
He's not really part of the show, but
at all. He's not even part of the show
He's
at all.
not a paid actor in any way.
No,
he volunteered.
He
came by.
Literally a guy across that owns the building across the street where the dumpster is.
Toronto
we
has
raided
a lot
the
of
dumpster.
characters,
Yeah. Who took an eye on Michelle.
Yeah.
And that nobody saw that coming, but
You can't make that stuff up, man.
No.
There's a lot of things, because it was a weird part of town, right? Like, this wasn't like the polished part of town. This was a weird, edgy part of town. And you get characters that show up a lot who just invite themselves on set because it's open. Like, traffic is still going by and pedestrians are walking by, and you get some weirdos walk up, and then they insinuate themselves into the story somehow.
People screaming at us.
Yeah. I remember
drive-bys.
I remember on one day it was really hot, and I was just wearing my coveralls, the bib and overalls, and I think a tank top, and a bunch of girls went by and hooted and hollered at me, and I'm not a good-looking guy. They thought I was Mike Holmes from Homes on Homes because of the way I was dressed, and they're like, it's him, it's really, really him. And I'm like, hey, finally, I'm getting some recognition here. And the look of dejection on their face as I walk closer, like, oh, it's not Mike Holmes. And then they rolled away. But you know what was cool? We haven't even talked about him. Like, think about, like, the producers. We worked, like, Joey Case. There's a comedian, a Toronto comedian, who's actually one of the producers of the show.
He's awesome.
Who's just
Incredible.
one of the...
Love you, Joey.
We craved having meetings with him. Like, the interview time was, like, with a couple different
We'd
people.
ask for
and
Joey.
was great.
Yeah, everybody wanted Joey because he was just a high energy guy, and he'd get right in your face and goes, okay, this is what we're going to do. And his eyes would just jump out of his head, and he really enjoyed the work. Jeff Siskind, who ironically, when I showed up on the job, I went to school with Siskind 20 years ago, and I hadn't seen him. He's like, Chuck, what are you doing here? I'm like, what are you doing here? I work here. Well, so do I. And so, Stephanie Pickering.
Stephanie was great.
I mean, they're just so much, and they're just such a talented group. Because remember, this is the same company, Proper Television, that also does Canada's Worst Handyman, Canada's Worst Driver, Come Dine With Me, Redemption Incorporated. They've got about like 5 or 6 big shows across the networks right now, man. So we had a real hardened, like Navy SEAL production team behind us to sort of keep us on task.
And I loved when they asked questions because sometimes you didn't see them coming because they saw all the footage and they started asking you questions about Chuck that I had no idea because you're in different rooms and they start planting things in your head and mind tricks. Big time.
But it sounds so fun and it looks so fun. And for those of us who know Chuck, that is Chuck.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's no acting. There's no acting. There's no, you know.
He's the real deal.
Chuck is hyper and Chuck
has expressions.
Chuck is Chuck.
Yeah, you don't have to soft soap me, Laura. I mean, you know me. I'm just, and so nobody, I think, put on airs or tried to fake the funk or anything.
No, but
what you see is good, bad, warts, everything, and there's some warts in there, man. Some real bumpy warts. Find their way out.
Warts with their own knuckles.
So Blair, you are a musician, and we're going to take one last break. We're going to come back, and do you think you could do a song? I heard this morning, and I heard you doing some Hank Williams, and that was great.
Wasn't that beautiful?
It was really great, and I'm just wondering if you could do a song for us.
I'd love to.
Okay. So we're going to take one last break and return to hear more from my guests. I have a few cast members from Junk Raiders 3 that they kicked off their season 3 last night on Discovery Channel, and I have Chuck Barnett in studio. I have Blair Harvey, and Lara Finley will be back right after this.
Sunday night after another weekend. Can't sleep? Counting sheep doesn't work. After all, sleep is overrated. Join the king.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
No, I mean King A. Sunday Nightmare, midnight to 3. The best in all types of metal. Plus, concert listings, interviews with the makers of metal. Sunday Nightmare, midnight to 3 a.m. with King A on K103.7 FM.
The Last Chance Lottery is always a quick way to win cool cash. With a prize starting at $500 and sometimes higher. For only a toonie, there's no better way. Last week's number was
679. Bobby Abrera was your winner.
This week, the Last Chance Lottery prize is
$500.
K103's Last Chance Lottery. Sold exclusively at the K103 offices. Buy 1, 10, 20, or as many as you want. K103's Last Chance Lottery. The quickest way to win cash.
And we are back. This is the Partyline Talk Show. I'm your host, Laurie Jacobs. Local Kahnawake Huron Chuck Barnett is one of my guests in studio, along with Blair Harvey and Lara Finley. They are a few of the cast members of...
highly talented cast members.
Very highly talented, very beautiful, very handsome.
Good looking.
And very talented. Blair Harvey is also a musician, and this morning he was on the morning show, and he had a great rendition of an old Hank Williams tune. And because he's from out east, and I said Kahnawake is a real country town, I wanted to ask Blair to give us a tune, and Blair kindly agreed.
Yep.
So anytime.
I got an original song. True story.
Is it?
Yep. About a fella from up my way. Died back in the 70s. His name was Gussie Hayes. And he melted down records and drank them.
Drank them?
Drank the alcohol out of the records.
No kidding.
Yep. And he melted down...
Don't give anybody ideas around here.
He melted down this one record, and he had a bunch of guys up for a drink, and they were all sitting around, and they're like, man, it's a good drink. Like, what is it? And he said, boy, that's the Tennessee Waltz.
Oh.
He melted down the Tennessee Waltz.
Nice.
So this is called Nothing Tastes Better.
Gussie Hayes put his pain in a bottle, spent his life in a stupor drunk. And one day when he found his pockets empty, drowned himself in a bottle of rum. One day when he found the darkness empty, and the devil was calling and he couldn't refuse. Had to have something make the world go away. He turned to his records in the corner of his room. He mellowed on down till juice was running out, and oh, hang numbers what he saw. Put it through the strain and it went right to his brain. Ain't nothing tastes better than the Tennessee Waltz. When the song had ended, found his head upon the floor. He didn't have that good old feeling anymore. Had to have something make the world go away. He turned to his records once before. He catches his ring of fire and Hank's lonesome whistle. All those songs running through his veins. The more Gussie listened, the more time he was missing. He wore a path right to his grave. He mellowed on down till juice was running out. He knew Hank numbers what he saw. He put it through the strain and went right to his brain, where nothing tastes better than the Tennessee Waltz. We found old Gussie, he was lying in a corner, in a pool of stench so foul a smell. And the good old songs just kept on playing, and it played old Gussie oh so well. He mellowed on down till the juice was running out, and old Hank numbers what he saw. He put it through the strain and went right to his brain. And nothing tastes better than the Tennessee Waltz. No, nothing tastes better than the Tennessee Waltz.
Woo! Very, very, very good. Yeah, so if people would like to hear more of your music, because I feel a little Hank the Third in there.
You feel that, huh?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
I'm a Hank the Third fan, big time.
Okay.
Working with this guy, it's like working with Johnny Cash, Hank Sr., and like Bob Dylan all at once every day, and he'd sing on the job too, and it kept everybody motivated. And what most people don't know when they watch the show, Blarvey's like pounding nails all day long, 12, 14 hours, would leave the job and then go to do a gig all night long.
At night.
Do a rock or country gig.
Red pants.
Yeah, till 2 a.m, and then show up at the job the next day, just ready to work again.
No wonder you guys are tired.
Yeah, it's been a long run.
I don't think Blair slept during the whole season.
No. I'm so glad that you were able to drop in the studio this afternoon. And I'll be watching next Monday at 9 p.m. on the Discovery Channel Canada, and to see episode 2
of Junk Raiders 3.
Yes, Junk Raiders 3. And Chuck, once again, maybe you can, because you're from here, and give a little farewell to our listeners and our guests.
I'm so happy my friends have come back. I haven't seen them since the show, really. And so it's just like we haven't missed a day. It's like real nice reconnecting with them because these are my friends for life. We're just so tight now. And somebody give me a call because I want Blarby to come back. Somebody get him a gig, man. We got to hook this guy up with a show here in Ganawagga sometime soon because I got to have him back more often, and I got to come up with a reason to get him back here. So give me a shout. Let's bring him back. Lara, it's always nice having you back, man. It's like old times all over again. And you bond with people, man, over a short period of time. I was sad to see him go on that last day, because it's tough. But thanks. I really want to thank Ganawagga. Really came out and really just were really supportive. It's uplifted me through all this and just carried me on your shoulders. And I really appreciate all the nice words and the messages people have been sending me because I've been stressed out about this. And I really do. I love you all and appreciate all your support.
So once again, Junk Raiders 3. Give us the time.
9 o'clock Mondays, Discovery Channel Canada. That's 9 o'clock Monday. Blair, what is that, Newfoundland?
It could be 8:30 or 9:30. I can't remember.
Okay.
Back or ahead, I don't know.
Look at your local TV guide.
Yeah.
You're in Newfoundland.
Yeah.
Okay, so thanks everybody for
Thank you, Lori.
coming in. Okay. And thanks for spending your lunch hour with us. Tune in tomorrow for the All Got Nyagaha Partyline Talk Show with Joe McGregor and Leo Daibo. I'll return on Thursday with a two-parter. Part one, we're going to have Patricia Galeprint, and she's the author of the book In Search of Princess White Deer. And that is a biography of the Ganawagga woman Esther Deer. And in part two, we're going to have Deidre White in from the Ganawagga Animal Protection. And she's going to be talking about the vaccination clinic that is happening this Sunday in Ganawagga. Up next, Sean McKee.